Hey guys, this is Bill again on my cooking channel, and probably a lot of you don't know that I live in Florida. So Ian has made his way through, and this is my first video since the storm. And I was trying to think of, what do we need? Well, we need, of course, a lot of wine, but we need comfort food. So I was thinking back, and just basically making some simple mashed potatoes, meatloaf, and I've done mashed potatoes before, but I don't think it got a lot of traction. It was in the beginning, and I just want you to see how easy it is. So I went to the grocery store to see what they had, because I had most everything in the, at home, but I found a 3-pound bag of Yukon Gold potatoes. So I peeled them up, put them in some water. You always cut them in half because you want to make sure there's nothing funny on the inside. And then I cooked them for about 20 minutes. I just turned them off because they just buzzed. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to drain them. You know the trick to draining, don't burn yourself, but offset the lid, and I'm just going to pour it down the sink. Okay, so I got I got quite a bit here. So, trick is, while it's still nice and hot, I've got 4 ounces of cream cheese that I've cut into quarters. I've got 4 ounces of butter cut into quarters. It's like steam instantly, soften that up. I've had them out. I've had them out so they are pretty much room temperature anyways. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our little mush masher, just start going to town. Just want to get that, the butter's melting really fast, but it's getting that cream cheese, right? If you have good heavy pots, this is going to hold the heat. If you've got, pans that cool down too soon, certainly you may have to put it on low. I never have a problem with this one, so it should be okay. Alright, so we've got this going good. It's really hot in there. And all I got is a half a cup of half and half. I get that toasty warm too. I need some ground black pepper. And I'm going to opt for just a pinch of salt. It's one of the things I've learned. It's definitely hot enough in here. So, you don't want your pan moving all over. All it needs a couple, or a silicone pad. Works like a suction cup. I won't be making all that racket. Stir it around. Every last little potato gets mushed. This is actually something that you can do by hand and get better results than putting them in the mixer. I know my mom owned an old-fashioned masher, But back in the days, it was just like a piece of wire that zigzagged and wasn't real efficient. So this new technology stuff. So, how do I make potatoes great? Well, first of all, a lot of dairy, right? Got a lot of dairy in here. But I want some flavor too. So I just went and got some chives. A little as much or as you want. And I do this right at the end so it doesn't get all mushed up. I learned that the hard way. I made it one time. Put chives in with the mixer and ended up with green mashed potatoes. And I like the smell and flavor. You know, chives not too intense. Of course, I'm sure if you're old enough, you remember, you know, your mom always had a jar of freeze-dried chives for the baked potatoes. You go to a fancy restaurant and they always had the freeze-dried chives to put on your baked potato. So I probably could have used a little more potato, you know, by the time you peel them. I usually use about 3.5 pounds for the recipe, but I wasn't going to buy another bag. I just want to get this stirred around. Perfect. Doing this quick because then I get to go out and clean up the yard waste, right? All the leaves and debris. So, what do perfect mashed potatoes look and taste like? Smell like? Well, let's just see. These are still so hot I can't touch the pan. So if you're new to the world of cooking, this is just something easy, something great. And so what do you do with mashed potatoes? You can do anything. I make it like a fake shepherd's pie where I just put mashed potatoes on top of chili, my homemade chili. Serve it with a pork chop, serve it with meatloaf, serve it with whatever you want. Maybe have just some whole bunch of little food that you can eat with it. This is really great with fried chicken. What the heck, you know? Do whatever you want. But I guarantee you that this is a perfect little comfort food. It all mashed up real nice, and if you get a couple little chunks of potato in it, who cares? Because it's not going to kill you. Believe it or not, it really won't. That's why I like doing it this way versus the mixer. Because if you overbeat them, you get all that gluten and they can get kind of starchy and just ruins the consistency. That's a perfect mashed potato. No time at all. There's no prep at all. I mean, heck, the hardest thing was to remember to get the butter and cream cheese out this morning. If you so desire, there's nothing wrong with topping it with a little sour cream if you like. I love sour cream. A little pepper, put a little more chive on just for color. This is going to be really, really good. So, like I always say, you know, a lot of people are worse off than I am with the storm, and maybe this is what we need to do to come back together, is do some cooking, cook for our neighbors. You know, some pantries are kind of low. Mine actually was, because I didn't want to hoard a whole bunch of stuff like some people do. And you know, the storm wasn't as bad as we thought here on the East Coast. West Coast was where it really hit hard. But gather your friends and neighbors. Just make a whole bunch of food and have a great time. And I will see you next time.